This episode contains mature language and adult situations.
Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, my friend. And how is it that you stumbled into my caverns of the abyss? I am ancient. I am forever. And I have been chained down here for a millennia. I am the Shadow Dweller, here to keep you company until the abyss swallows you whole. I've been here for eons and collected stories. I will tell you a tale to pass the time. Short stories of horror, tiny tales of the creepy. I will assure you, by the end you'll be screaming with madness.
Hill am I? How'd I get here? Oh, is somebody there? What's happening? Why the fuck am I chained up?
I hope you've been enjoying your stay in my caverns of the abyss. Morbid Morsals is a new chapter of terror. A short tale of madness to, let's just say, carry your tremendous suffering over to the longer, fuller episodes. So until then, my friends, I've got another poor, unfortunate soul to torture. My apologies if the chains are too tight. Wouldn't want you wandering around down here in the dark. You never know what you bump into. Or for that matter, what would bump into you.
Let me go.
This morbid morsel is called The Last Dare.
It was a chilly Halloween night in the small town of Maplewood, where children laughed and shouted in the streets dressed in costumes, hoping for candy and maybe a little scare. Every year there was a house that one kids all dared each other to visit, the old crumbling mansion at the end of Darkwood Street. This year, 3 friends, Max, Ella, and Josh, would take on the dare. They'd heard the stories, of course, about a crazy old woman who lived there. Some even whispered she was behind the disappearances of children over the years, but nothing was ever proven. Come on, you two. It's just an old house. Nothing's gonna happen.
You know, people say Mrs. Warren eats children, right? Like she invites them in and they never come back out.
And then she uses their bones to make soup. Seriously, though. Let's just go get our candy and leave. The guys at school will never believe we went inside.
The house loomed over them. Its broken windows and peeling paint gave it an almost skeletal appearance. The front door was cracked open, creaking slowly as if beckoning them in. Okay, in and out. One piece of candy each. We don't even have to see her.
I don't know if this is a good idea, Mac.
Come on. She's probably not even home. Don't be such a chicken shit.
They crept inside, stepping on a floor covered in dust. The air was thick, musty, and there was a faint smell that none of them could quite place. Something metallic, something decaying. They shuffled through the dimly lit hallway, their flashlights barely cutting through the darkness. They were almost to the stairs when Ella stopped, pointing to a door half hidden behind a fading curtain.
Guys, look, should we check it out?
Sure. What's the worst that could happen? Besides, if anything does, we fucking run. The three of them hesitated, then slowly pushed the door open. The room was filled with strange trinkets, jars lined up on the shelves. Some were filled with a cloudy liquid, and one of them, a small preserved hand floated.
What the hell is this?
I think these are parts of kids. Oh my god, I'm going to fucking puke. Gross.
Suddenly, a soft voice echoed from the shadows.
Who's there? Little ones out after dark? How delightful. Come closer. So, tell me, what do you want? Is it a treat? Or maybe a trick?
We need to go. Now grab the goddamn candy and let's get the hell out of here, Max said, but it was too late. A figure emerged from the shadows, an old woman, her skin sallow, her eyes gleaming with the hunger that sent chills down their spines. She smiled, revealing teeth far sharper than any grandmother should be. She smelled of old mothballs and death.
Well, what is it? A trick or a treat?
The door, it's locked. Holy shit.
You children came here of your own free will. And on Halloween night, how could I resist? So much easier when they come to me, said the spider to the flies. You taste so much better when you're afraid.
Mrs. Warren moved slowly, savoring their terror. She reached out a long, claw-like hand towards Josh, who shrieked, backing up into dusty shelves. Thinking fast, Max grabbed a heavy candlestick from a nearby table, throwing it toward Mrs. Warren's head. It hit her, and she stumbled back, letting out an inhuman shriek that echoed throughout the house.
Run while she's down. That's what you get, you creepy old bitch.
The three of them bolted to the door, pulling it with all their might until it finally gave way, and they tumbled outside into the cold night air. They didn't stop running until they were far from the house, breathing hard, looking back at the dark silhouette of the mansion. Mrs. Warren watched from the windows, her twisted smile barely visible in the shadows. Her lips mouthed something they couldn't hear, but they knew it wasn't the last they'd ever see of her. Okay. We're definitely never fucking doing that again.
Do you think she...
Yeah, I do.
As they looked back one last time, the faint outline of her face vanished from the window. The next day, rumors would spread about the three kids who had gone to the old mansion and had lived to tell about it. But in reality, the next morning when the police searched the mansion, they uncovered something far darker. In the cold, damp basement, 3 children were found tied up, just as Mrs. Warren had left them. They had actually never made it out and gone home. Only in their minds did they think they did. Only 2 of them were still alive, shivering, bruised, and barely conscious. Max and Ella huddled together in terror, their eyes wide as horror as they looked at the third figure, Josh, their friend, his lifeless body a bloody mess, chunks of flesh torn away.
She ate him, Ella. She fucking ate him.
My god, poor Josh. Max. We gotta tell the police everything.
Mrs. Warren had carved into Josh, devouring him piece by piece, leaving a bloody corpse and entrails on the cold base floor. And when they were found, she was nowhere to be seen, vanished as she was never there. Some said she was a ghost, others a demon, a kid-eater, but whatever she was, she left her mark. A horrific reminder of what happened on that Halloween night. So if you find yourself on Darkwood Street next Halloween, remember, some doors are better left unopened, some houses unvisited, and some dares, well, some dares can cost you everything.
In shadows deep where lost things creep, the moonlight fades, the night grows steep. Beware the whispers soft and sly, for they're the ghosts who never die. With bony fingers cold as stone, they reach for those who walk alone. On Halloween, beware the chill, for restless spirits roam at will. Halloween night, a time of ghouls, ghosts, and plenty of tricks and treats. But for Max, Ella, and Josh, the three teenagers set out to get some street cred on a dare, and thought they'd have school stories to share with their school friends. But on this night, instead of coming back with some candy, they've got nothing but nightmares and one less friend. And as for Mrs. Warren, looks like she ended up with the best treat of all.
What did you think about that terrifying tale?
What the hell do you want from me?
To enjoy your endless suffering and pain until there is nothing left of you and you are swallowed by the abyss.
No, stay back. As the caverns of the abyss takes you, I patiently await the next mortal that finds their way here to me. Your dark thoughts always lead you to me. So, my friends, until next time, I look forward to tasting your fear.
Face.
Into the Abyss has been a Dark Shogun production in association with Twisted Souls Media. Hi, I'm Troy Bursch, creator and producer of the short horror story audio podcast Into the Abyss. If you like what you're hearing so far, please consider leaving me a 5-star rating and review wherever you can. This helps get my show out there to listeners just like you. Also, like, subscribe, download, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get a heads up every time a new episode drops. Thanks to everyone who listened so far, and I'll have my information in the show notes. Thanks. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Facebook is into_the_abyss_podcast. Instagram is into_the_abyss_podcast. Or go ahead and shoot me an email. Troy@intotheabysspodcast73.com. Check out my new website, intotheabysspodcast.godaddysite.com. It's going to be about what the podcast is about, who the Shadow Dweller is, have episode and show art, Behind the Shadows blogs, direct episode links to listen to. Also, check out some dope stickers in the merch store. Show some suffering support by repping your favorite host, the Shadow Dweller. When you're checking out the website, be sure to check out DJ Trillim tracks. These are most of the songs that I make up to put in the show's outros. These are sick, dope beats to keep your heads ringing. I have the Q&A feature on Spotify as well. Drop me a comment or ask a question and I'll definitely respond. Thanks again for listening and downloading. Keep sharing the show, either through social media or with your friends or family.
Super Subsonic by DJ Trillim. You can find more DJ Trillim tracks on my website,